All right, welcome. Thanks everyone for being here today. And we've got Tim Bezbatchenko here. And if you can be so kind as to do the raise hand button on your Zoom, we will get to as many questions as possible and appreciate you all joining. We will kick it off with Bailey and then go to Clay. Go ahead, Bailey.
Hey, Bez, thanks for doing this. I guess just to start off, could you sort of walk us through how you came to the decision to trade Jonathan and the timeline of this process?
Sure. Thanks, Bailey. So obviously throughout the off season, we've been working with our new head coach in Wilfried Nancy in terms of what sort of style of play and his vision for the game. And we've been talking about our roster throughout the offseason. And then as we moved into preseason, we knew that there would be changes necessary to affect his vision for the game and one that is surrounded and it's not just surrounded, but is really full of this idea of attacking soccer and being deliberate in the attack and in the final third. And so as we made decisions in the preseason, this opportunity came that other teams would be interested in Jonathan. And so we felt like the flexibility that it gives us short-term and long-term, as well as our ability to add a defender. We are looking at someone now. And in the near future, we will be able to make a signing. We felt like it was something that was important for the club to do.
You beat me to my next question, which was going to be about if there's someone sort of waiting in the wings and where you guys are in that process of getting a replacement. Yeah.
So we are, we're hard at work and we are looking at adding another defender. And what this move does is allows us the flexibility to make additional changes, whether or not that's in the preseason or throughout the first half of the year. What we're really excited about, though, also is the ability to see an entire year with Cucho Hernandez and getting Lucas back to his top form and seeing how Darlington Nagbe not only continues his fine play for us, but can connect with Lucas and Cucho. So part of this is really reflecting internally about ourselves and being excited about the players that we have on our roster. But also, of course, adding another defender and possibly more players over the next 3 to 6 months.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bailey. We'll go to Clay, and if you'd like a question after Clay, please press the raise hand button.
Bailey got all the good questions, but no, I'm kidding. How much off-season progress do you feel? It sounds like you want to get a little bit younger, perhaps, with the Mensah's replacement. And what do you just make of the administration by your new coach? And did you say you want to be more attacking? Is that a point of emphasis there?
Yeah, I'll start off with what a successful roster in MLS typically is: a blend of veterans and core players and young players. And we need to make sure each year we're evaluating to determine if we have the appropriate blend of those players. And what we're really excited about is what's happening in the Crew Academy and with Crew 2 winning the championship last year. What type of players can move from Crew 2 to the first team? We've already seen players like Sean Zawatsky, who was already on a first team contract, but got a lot of minutes with Crew 2, and Will Sands make that step. But we've now signed Jason Russell-Rowe, Mo Farsi, Phil Quinton, and we're excited to see what they can do. And obviously Wilfried has already noticed that they have potential, and we want to be a club that looks internally at ourselves to promote from within first before we go out into the market. But we will do that too. So obviously in the offseason so far, there's been Christian Ramirez up top, Jimmy Madranda on the left as a left wing back, and some of the other names I mentioned, Keegan Hughes, homegrown player. So we've made some moves. We feel like there could be more, certainly at least one more in the near term, and we'll evaluate our roster as it goes on.
Yeah, Tim. And so you've got to earn your your Spurs as a development unit as well, right? It's on you to take these kids and make them productive first teamers, right?
Yeah, they have to earn it. It's on us to make sure that their, we call them IDPs, their individual development plans have, the specifics in order for them to advance. And I think you asked earlier, right, our ability to score more goals, right? You need to get roughly that 50 threshold in order to be a competitive playoff team. And we would like to score more than that. And we think that we have the firepower up top with Cucho and Lucas, and obviously Kevin Molino and Alex Matan and Yao Yaboa are players that we feel like can take the next step. And it'll be up to them and our coaching and our entire group to make sure that they fulfill their potential. But it's something we want to see down at lower.com field is a team that's exciting to watch. People know when they come down to the stadium, they're going to see goals. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case too often last year. And we feel like we do have the ability to get more numbers forward into the attack in order to create more goal scoring chances.
Last thing for me, how much do you observe of camp training? Do you go down to Florida, check on how they're looking?
Oh, absolutely.
George Steinbrenner, I just thought, yeah.
Yeah, we had 2 phases of preseason down in Florida, and then some time in Columbus in the bubble when the weather doesn't cooperate outside. So obviously myself and Issa Tall and Corey Ray, assistant GMs, and our technical director, Mark Nichols, we are constantly working with Wilfried on what the vision is, where we're at in preseason. We're watching the sessions, and obviously we have a number of matches coming up. Inter Miami tomorrow, a scrimmage, and Houston on Wednesday, followed by a final match on Saturday. And so we will attend those matches. We will compare notes. We evaluate players, and we see where we're at after each game.
Great. We'll go to Austin and then Bailey.
Hi there. So I'm curious, with this trade, what do you feel like, what legacy does Mensah leave behind as his time with the Crew comes to an end?
Yeah, obviously I was able to say it in my statements that we had in our release, but I do want to take a moment to thank Jonah for everything that he's brought to this club. He predates myself, came in 2017, been here for 6 years. And he plays with tenacity and fire and passion, but then off the field, he's also someone who lives his life with grace and generosity, and connects with people in the community in a way that we rarely see, frankly. Everyone, we have a great group of players who commit to the community, but Jonah is one of those players who takes it one step farther in terms of making sure that it's a meaningful impact with everything that he does. So we're tremendously thankful for him and his efforts in the community. Obviously, as a leader in our team and as a captain, has served the club well. And so he'll leave a legacy. And on a personal note, anytime you win a championship, it only matters if you have a relationship with those around. I think that's why we're in the game, is to win trophies, but you need to care and have a relationship with the people around you. And so that connection will always be there between everyone at the club who won a championship together. And that carries on, frankly, forever. And so, we don't want to take those things lightly, and we want to wish Jonah all the best in his career. And we want to make sure that we continue a relationship. And obviously it's hard right now when you're in the moment, in the middle of a trade and sort of, you're really focused on preparing for the season. But there's also a life beyond, and we want to make sure that he knows that this is his club for a long time and forever in some ways.
And just to follow up with that, now that the team has traded its captain away, how will you look to fill that gap that's lost, with Mensah's leadership qualities?
Yeah, so of the next couple of weeks, obviously we're going to have matches, and the coaching staff will really take the lead role in deciding who should be the captain. I'm sure that Wilfried will work with the leadership group that he speaks to regularly to decide, who's the appropriate person. But I'm excited about that step because that's an evolution for the club. And anytime you're selecting a new captain, it means quite a bit for the team in terms of the style and character and personality of the team. So we'll see in the coming weeks how that's done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Austin. Clay, you have your hand up, or is that from earlier?
My bad, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, no worries. We have time for one or two more questions. If you'd like, please just press the raise hand button now. All right, well, with that, I want to thank everyone for being on the call here on your Friday afternoon. Appreciate your continued coverage of the club. We're 2 weeks away from the start of the season, and we're looking forward to Media Day and the lead up. And thank you again to Tim for your time here. Have a good rest of your day.
Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.